Welcome to the first of what we hope will be many in-house challenges here at Oldfield Forge, where we will be pitting our resident smiths against each other head-to-head in various steel-based competitions. Today's event, the 3-heat challenge. Competitors must take 180 mil of 25x5 mild steel, the stock we use for our scroll knives here at Oldfield Forge, and using only 3 heats from the fire, draw out as much length as they can from the last 80 mil. The rules are as follows. All steel behind the 80mm mark must be untouched. Competitors don't have to use all 80mm, but they cannot go over the line. The smith must work alone, no strikers or assistants. The smith may only use hammer and anvil to draw out their work. They may use a variety of hammers as long as they are one-handed, no additional tools. The heat begins when the first hammer blow strikes the steel and ends when the work is no longer visibly glowing. And with the rules established, let's get the first Oldfield Forge challenge underway. And first out of the gate we have Josh, new to Oldfield but not new to blacksmithing. This plucky young lad came highly recommended to us by a man clearly wanting to sabotage our company from the inside out. Josh is using a 1.3 kilo rounding hammer, sensible weight and variable in its use of flat on the front for an even strike and rounded at the back for an increased draw. Using the back of the rounding hammer in combination with the bick of the anvil will make his handle lumpy initially but stretch it out much faster. With another 2 heats left, he's got plenty of time to clean that up later. Ethan there with his distinctive bobble hat getting a cheeky little look at the competition. Go away and do some work, you little rascal. And as the first round ends, it goes back in the fire at a red heat, not wanting to waste any unnecessary energy there. On to heat 2, and with a strategy I expect we'll see a lot of in this, a yellow heat, close to melting. He really wants to maximise the amount of time that he can keep this hot for, and the hotter it starts, the longer the heat will last. As we look a little closer here, we see the signs of a true champion. Concentration on his face, determination in his heart, and flakes of dead skin on his shoulders. As you can see, Josh has swapped for a 1 kilo ball-peen hammer, perhaps reconsidering his earlier choice and now opting for a more stamina-friendly approach. An odd choice of tactic there, using the extra face of the wheelwright's anvil to square up his handle. The corner of this perhaps being extra crisp for adding those precious extra millimeters. And with that last heat done, back into the fire it goes.
How you doing, buddy? Good.
Speeding ahead now, with the determination perhaps brought on by the realization that he's been putting very little effort in up to this point. A final taper being added here to truly maximize the length he's making. Those precious millimeters count in this challenge.
Where's the dough? There.
Oh, and trying to curry favor, he now demonstrates that he is so far within the rules of the 80mm that he's given himself less metal to work with. While playing it safe, this will not allow him any extra concessions. And with a solid start off to this competition, let's see how the others will compare. Next up is Theo, rocking a delightful dad jumper and hat ensemble where he protects his temples from noise by wearing ear defenders incorrectly.
Baby sledge.
A moment's pause for accuracy, don't want to end up behind that dot and end up risking a disqualification. While not using a rounding hammer, Theo has opted for the bick of the anvil as Josh did, extending it forward potentially faster than the flat of the anvil. Wielding baby sledge, a 1.8 kilo cross-peen hammer which is normally reserved for children to use two-handed. A quick neaten up on the flat face and a hammer swap over to his 900-gram Farrier's hammer. He's hoping that by employing the tool of a donkey mechanic it will grant him the undeserved confidence that they wield on a daily basis to give him the win.
Hammer swap halfway through.
Once again, Ethan in the background, this time actually doing some work, followed closely by Josh, stealthily pilfering a bag of tobacco. The metal goes back in, a solid first heat.
Yep.
Sticking with the Farrier's hammer, the heat this time at its peak, almost burning. Switching up his approach of a flat face on a bick, he's almost reversed it and opted for a domed face on a flat anvil. Will this give him the edge he needs? The length on this already looking like it may have beaten Josh, but there are more competitors to go, and Theo wants to set a good example for his little forgelets around Oldfield. And as the second heat goes back in, let's see how he's feeling.
Mr. Suburban, how you feeling?
Pretty good, I'll be honest. Yeah. I think I might have this in the bag, mate. Yeah.
The final heat now, near molten temperatures and a final hammer swap to his own personal ball peen made by the very talented Elliot. A face of determination as the length of the handle has now exceeded the width of the anvil. Focusing on the last half of the anvil here to squeeze out those last centimetres.
How long have you been doing this? Oh, yeah.
3 years.
And he appears to be finished. He has realised he can keep going with all he has remaining, so continues going on for a quick straighten.
Got a plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Hold us two up again. Stereotype.
There we are, folks, a clear winner over Josh's opening number. Let's see how Joe will stack up next.
Illegal use of a bottom tool. Will not be having that, Joe.
A disgraceful potential use of a non-sanctioned piece of equipment there. While a penalty was considered due to the tampering and general cheekiness of the other competitors, it has been overlooked this time. The hammer in use here, a 2 kilo lump hammer on a very short handle known as Thunk, is certainly a bold choice. Not a good choice, but undeniably a bold one. The hammering on the bick technique today, clearly a popular one. Ethan once again in the background doing something possibly productive, while Joe swaps to his regular forging hammer, a 1 kilo lump which resembles a tiny sledgehammer, and served him well these past few years, and in certain lights it makes him look bigger than he actually is. Joe here has certainly committed to the time on the bick, spending a lot more time here than the other competitors.
We considered it.
A brief consideration of giving up his first heat early, but then back to the anvil for a final flurry of blows. Joe there possibly kept motivated by his choice of music today.
He's got his earplugs in. What are you listening to, buddy?
Snowblind. Just dubstep.
Nice.
It's one of my old workout playlists once.
Workout, right.
Second heat, the small hammer has been kept. We seem to have a running theme here. Hammers that are too big for you tire you out. Who knew?
I just want to make it clear, I'm okay with second.
A prediction from Joe about his position in this contest. Will he finish second? Spoiler alert, he will not.
It's too hot.
A maniacally happy grin there as the angle of the cameraman attempts to make Joe appear taller. But as evidence shows, Joe has been forging on his tippy toes this entire time. Third heat, he's confident, and a last minute swap over to a crosspane hammer with not much weight difference between that and his normal one. What could be his play now? As we can see here, a clear height advantage given by Joe forging on his tippy toes. The crosspeen action there, Joe's final desperate push to draw that length out with the back of the crosspeen. Not a tactic we expected, but it doesn't seem to have paid off at all. Technically, there is some heat left here, but will Joe's stamina give up before the heat has left the bar entirely? A quick comparison, 3 knife handles down, currently with Theo in the lead. Let's see how the competitors are feeling about their performances.
You might need to zoom in for one of them.
Excellent. We'll continue on to the next round with the other competitors. Well done, fellas.
Thank you.
Rude.